So when you are pruning roses, you want to go to the dead flower and move down to the first set of real leaves and snip. Now, children like to learn how to do this, and when they do it, they wind up leaving just a little nub. So feel free to go back and snip it down just a little bit more.
Mommy, I want to do that part right here.
So,
can I do that one, please? I did it. So I did it by myself. Bye.
So when pruning your roses, you go back to the first set of leaves and you snip as close as you can without, oh, they still smell, without touching the leaves.
What?
And this promotes not only more flowers to come out, but more growth. And we want to take care of our pollinators, so we want to have a little something something for them. However, whenever you go around and you prune your flowers back, look for blight. Just like your tomatoes, blight is very common with roses. So now that we're done with our purple roses, we can move on to our red roses.
I want to move on the red roses.
Now, as you can see, there's multiple different shades of red, because as it blooms and it finishes blooming, they change colors almost completely to a black as they bloom and age. So when they're done blooming, you trim them just like the purple roses, and this goes to any rose. Now, even though this one's not completely done, I'm going to snip it back as well, because there's already new growth coming out right in here. If I can move this out of the way. So, since this is a lanky, long plant, I'm going to snip it back in an attempt to get it to grow thicker and fuller. However, this got bent somehow. So I'm going to finish cutting it off because it's just stressing the plant out. And when roses put out new growth, as you can see from where I've previously trimmed them, it's lighter in color until it darkens up. Now, Miss Anastasia has brought me my yellow roses, which start out almost white.
Yeah, and that one white.
And turn into a golden and then a brown. And this, I think, needs some water.
Mama, cleanse it.
Yep.
Cleanse it.
And the concept again is the same.
Golden. I love golden.
This is something that you're going to need to keep up with and continue to do as the season goes.
Love golden.
And again, look for your blight and take it off.
I'm hoping it.
And finally, we have our peach.
Peach.
Different shades of pink.
Pink.
So, I'm going to finish this up and I'll meet you over at the potatoes.
Grandpa.
Like I was saying over at the roses, blight does not only go after your tomatoes. It goes after a lot of different plants. And when you see it, you want to nip it in the butt by snipping it off as soon as you find it. Now, even if it's not blight, your discoloration is most likely a fungus, and it'll infect the whole rest of your plant. unless you're able to prove that it's lack of light or stress from transplant. So, either way, I tend, as you can see, it's different shades. You got a little yellow here, brown, dark green. So I tend to nip it in the butt because I don't want to lose my plants. You could treat it with a fungicide, but I don't know how well that'll work. I just go through and I make sure I get it all. And I take it as far away from my garden as I can. And it's really that simple. And on the really hot days, I'm going to show you chocolate cherry. Let me pan over. On the really hot days, your plants are going to start drooping. Now, the first thing you do is check their soil. Now, it just rained last night, and the soil is a little damp, so this could be its way of reducing the amount of sunlight that is on it. If you want to give it a little bit of water to perk it up, that's fine and dandy. However, like pumpkins, it's probably just bending its leaves to minimize the amount of sun to reduce the heat. So, I'm just going to keep an eye on it, and if it's still droopy tonight, I'll give it a little soil drenching, and that should perk it right back up. So, thank you all for tuning in for this quick prune video, and look forward to seeing you back in the garden next time.